shells. You done eating? Slippery, you gotta be careful.
Today is January 13th, and I am just starting my seed starting. So what you'll see is, I'm just going to fast forward through, I have my seed starting mix. I do use Fort V. I think it's just the regular potting mix. If I can find it, I'll put it up here. Anyway, but I do sift that because it has a lot of chunks, because I do use a 3/4 blocker. It's really very small, and it makes little blocks like this. So there's 20 in each set, so 2, 4, 6, so this is 60. And then my smaller ones are 40. I do that because I just don't have a lot of room, and so I need to be a little space savvy. Plus, actually probably the biggest reason is also because I have found that using the soil blocking method, for me personally, I have gotten better germination. So that's probably the biggest reason. And I learned all of my seed starting from the Gardener's Workshop, so she's got great videos on that, so I just kind of fast forwarded through all of that. But basically you have to put it in here, wet it. I like to make it look like a kind of a mashed potato type consistency, and then you make your blocks. I tried to make a bunch of blocks because I had a bunch of seeds that I wanted to start, and then as you see, I've already made those, so you'll see that in just a second. Obviously, you just have to determine whether or not the seed sits on top of the soil or gets pushed down in. And then I take all of mine and put them into my seed starting station and put them on my heat mats. And then when I water them, I water the tray. The tray obviously has no hole, so in the morning I come and I water. The water sits in there. The blocks get all wet. I let it sit for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then I dump all the water back out, and so it should dry out by the next time I come to water. And then, but at the very beginning, when everything's kind of germinating, depending on how quickly the blocks are drying out, and I figure that out within the first day or so, sometimes I will not dump all the water out. Sometimes I'll leave some in the tray because I really want to keep the top of these moist. And I don't use domes. And sometimes the Gardener's Workshop, they recommend putting a burlap cloth on top. I do that sometimes, and then sometimes I don't. So really kind of depends. And it's just me being lazy, and sometimes some sprout quicker, and I don't like it when they sprout through the holes, so I don't really know. It's just kind of a thing. At this time of year, I like to start some stuff, that I'm going to put in some of my pots just around and out by the flower stand instead of buying them. I started some coleus. I think that's how you say it, coleus. I did the pinto mix. This is more for shade. And then vinca, I saved my vinca seeds, so I started that. And then cilantro. Now this is for cut flowers. I learned from another gardener on Instagram that these make great cut flowers, and they really do. They're a good little sparkly bit, good little filler, and I tried them last year. I just tried a little succession of them, tried them last year, and they do. So I'm starting some of those because everything I'm starting now, I want to be able to start and then go ahead and, these are all the cool flowers, except for some of the stuff that goes in pots. This stuff needs to be started now because it's such slow growers that I want it to be, you know, looking pretty decent by the time it's after the first frost, by the time it's able to be put up in pots. I don't want it to be like this big. some Wandering Alyssum. Yeah, I'll try to put a picture right there. Some ornamental oregano. This stuff was really pretty. I did that last year. Couple different types of geranium. And then I'm really excited about this Joe Pye weed. I know that you can also put it in your cut flowers, but I really want to start this for our pollinator area. Plus, over Christmas, one thing we did was we went to our son and daughter-in-law's house, and in their front yard, they also want to start an area in their front yard. So for us, for them, and we'll see about the cut flowers. I've never seen it before, so, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so all of that was just, all of this is just kind of aside, not really for cut flowers. Now, what I am starting for the garden, I already have out there a bunch of stuff that I'm overwintering, but one thing I found last year is my Godacia did not overwinter well at all, so I'm starting Godacia now. Last year, my overwintered Godacia, basically I pulled all that up, but the Godacia that I started in January and planted out did really well, so that's what I'm starting now. I have some status out there, and then last year, my status that I overwintered, some of it died, and I didn't have very much. So this is kind of just my insurance policy. The status out there looks pretty decent, but you never know the next couple of months, so I'm starting some status. And then I just have, it says on here 20 seeds left from this Maya Rudbeckia. This I tried last year, and I tried to overwinter it, but it died. But it's kind of a newer Rudbeckia. I'll try to put a picture up. So anyway, I want to try this just to see what it looks like. And that's really all I'm starting now. Oh, and I want to try some anise hyssop for bouquets. I think that as a filler, I think that would be really pretty. It smells good. It's got some pretty spiky purple flowers. I think it'd be a great filler for the flowers, and it's pretty hardy, so I'm going to try that. And I almost forgot, one of my favorites is the Amazon Purple Dianthus, and this came in super handy at Mother's Day last year. And then I did hear that you could do several successions of it from the Gardener's Workshop. So I'm going to try successions of this. So this will be my first succession of Dianthus. So I'm going to start that as well. Winter tends to be a little bit slower around here, kind of, in that there's nothing too super major exciting going on, other than we have been putting row covers up and down. We have row covers out there on all of our cool flowers, and they go up and down according to the weather, just like everybody else. So that's one thing we've been doing, row covers up and down. We just had what they considered, we were going to have this big winter storm. We are in Zone 8B, North Carolina. We were going to have snow and ice and all the things. So we took the row covers down. I did leave my row covers up for my anemone and ranunculus. What am I talking about? Just my ranunculus. I've never grown ranunculus very well. I don't have very many ranunculus out there. And then the rabbits started eating my ranunculus. So anyway, the ranunculus was double covered, but because we were supposed to get freezing rain and snow, we took all of the row covers down. Nothing happened. Meaning, we did get a little freezing rain, a little bit of snow. It was really nothing. Temperatures dipped down a little bit, but luckily it wasn't really anything exciting. So flowers did really well. Can't complain, I guess. But I kept looking because we haven't had snow in like 3 years. And pretty much we haven't had snow since I've been doing this. And I wasn't really sure what to do about my row covers for snow and all the things. So once again, I went to my gardener's workshop class that I did and went to all her information, and she said that, you know, anytime you have ice or snow is a better insulator than row cover, and you don't want your row cover to fall down and it would smother your plants, even though ours really wouldn't be down that long, but still. So I took them down and it seemed to be fine. It would have probably been fine either way. Like I said, over Christmas, I can put up a little video about this, but over Christmas, and I didn't take many pictures because really, honestly, there's not a whole lot to see right now, but our son and daughter-in-law, they live in Wilmington, and they have been wanting to turn their front yard into just kind of like a wildlife habitat, pollinator area, that kind of thing, with native plants instead of, you know, grass. So I did some research on that, and we had here some native plants that I could dig up, that I already had growing, that I could dig up and use. And then I had started a few like this big, so I mean you can't even really see it yet in the landscape too much. And anyway, so we used what we could at the time. Again, this is Christmas time, so we pulled out bushes in front of their house, and then their soil is completely different from us. It's obviously sand. It's right there. They're only 10 minutes from the beach. So we just tried to give them a start there. And again, I got some seeds ordered. I haven't started the main, some of the main ones I want to start, some native seeds, things like milkweed and different things. So I do want to start that for here and for there. So some of them are the same as far as native plants for here and there. Okay, so that's good for my dianthus, my purple dianthus. I did not do tulips this year. Last year, tulips were just not a huge seller. People didn't ooh and ah and Google over the tulips, and tulips are, one, expensive, and two, a lot of work. So I opted for no tulips. I did plant a whole new crop of daffodils. This is first year for daffodils, narcissus, so we'll see how that goes. I had to stop talking while I was trying to do those Godicia because they were so small, and you had to plant them on the top of the soil blocks, and they were the exact same color as the soil blocks, and had to focus on that one. So anyway, that's what I'm doing today. It's the beginning of January. I'm out in the hoop house, and it's a little bit warmer out here, so at least it's not freezing cold out here. But haven't been up to anything too exciting around here, just doing the normal stuff. planning out the garden and taking hoops up and down, hoping my plants survive the winter and hoping that I have some ranunculus that will actually look good come ranunculus time. And then trying to figure out what Mother's Day is going to look like. Even though it's January, you know, still trying to figure that out. So anyway, that's all that's been going on around here. Hope you all had a good holiday season and that your January is looking pretty decent.